A weak analogy is a very commonly used informal fallacy. A lot of arguments rely on an analogy between two or more objects, ideas, or situations. If the two things that are being compared aren't really alike in the relevant aspects, the analogy is a weak one, and the argument that relies on it commits the fallacy of weak analogy. In order to fully understand this, we have to go into the world of
Me and the boys wish to thank you for hanging on to this stuff for us.
Thanks. Say, are you guys crooks?
But, is it wrong to steal a loaf of bread to feed your starving family?
No.
Well, suppose you got a large starving family. Is it wrong to steal a truckload of bread to feed them? And what if your family don't like bread? They like cigarettes.
I guess that's okay.
Now, what if instead of giving them away, you sold them at a price that was practically giving them away? Would that be a crime, Bart?
Hell no.
Enjoy your gift.
Superb.
In this clip, Fat Tony convinces Bart that stealing and selling cigarettes is just like stealing bread to feed your starving family. The issue here is that in one case, someone is stealing to save lives, which is an end that might justify its means, but in the other case, someone is stealing for personal gain. Fat Tony makes a comparison that is not justified and therefore uses weak analogy. The form of weak analogy is as follows. A has similarities to B. B has property P. So, A has property P. For example, someone arguing about gun control could say, guns are like hammers. They're both tools with metal parts that could be used to kill someone. And yet, it would be ridiculous to restrict the purchase of hammers. So restrictions on purchasing guns are equally ridiculous. This is a weak analogy because while guns and hammers do have similarities, these are not the factors that are considered in putting restrictions on guns. So, why is this a fallacy? Technically, you can make an analogy between any two things in the world, so the fact that you can make an analogy doesn't really prove anything. If an analogy is being made, the things being compared should be relevant to the argument.